Good evening, everyone. Please, we request all the guests to kindly get settled as we are going to start the function in a few minutes. Also, we request everyone present over here to kindly make sure that your microphones remain muted, your videos remain on, and ensure that your screen is not shared for the smooth conduct of the session.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Myself, Jina M. Kurian, member of State Chapter of LJRF, Law Justice Research Foundation. I welcome all of you to our latest initiative, Complete Lawyer Project. This is our inauguration ceremony. Let me kindly invite Ms. Anupam and Ms. Gayatri to compare this inauguration session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you.
Yes.
Surround yourself with the dreamers, the doers, the believers, and the thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see greatness within you, even when you don't see it yourself. The galaxy of intellectuals, esteemed guests, respected teachers, and my dear friends. Namaste, Adhar, and a very good evening to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, myself Gayatri CH, along with my friend Anthem Aisha of Government Law College, Calicut, take the privilege of being your host for this wonderful evening where all of us have gathered here for the most auspicious event of the inaugural ceremony of Project Complete Lawyer. And on behalf of LJRF, Law and Research Justice Foundation, we extend a very warm and hearty welcome to each one of you present over here.
It's a lovely evening, isn't it? First of all, we would like to thank everyone who have found time to attend this spectacular evening. Thank you so much.
Nothing is more heartening and gladdening than a warm welcome, for it brings smile on our face, love in our heart, and good thoughts in our mind for each of us to have a very great time ahead. Now, may I invite Mr. Sandeep Chandrasekharan, Honorable Joint Secretary, AJRF Kerala State Chapter, as well as the convener of Project Complete Lawyer, to kindly deliver the welcome speech and address the gathering.
Thank you, Gayatri. Am I audible? Can you confirm whether I am audible or not?
Yes, sir.
You are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gayatri, for the brief introduction. A warm greetings to all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Dear members of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration, Law and Justice Research Foundation, dear candidates of Project Complete Lawyer, others who have joined here. Inauguration of Project organized by Cochin Institute of International Arbitration in association with Law and Justice Research Foundation. Today, for the members of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation, it is a momentous event. Because the concept of Project Complete Lawyering has been planned for a very long period, Project Complete Lawyering is a collaboration of lawyers and legal academicians from Cochin Institute of Inauguration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation. A successful lawyer period after the graduation. Project who are interested in knowing more about Project Complete Lawyer, they can visit the link that I have just mentioned now. Furthermore, the importance and significance of Project Complete Lawyer in the current society will discuss the legal issues who are
Hello, sir. Your voice is breaking.
that is to deliver the welcome address. First, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law Foundation, it's an honor to welcome Advocate John Gomez, person of the Institute of the Institute to Project and they were very much instrumental in translating that concept to the reality that that is today, which has resulted in who will also be presidential address to this momentous event. Next, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation, it is my honor to welcome Honorable Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar, Judge High Court of Kerala, who has graciously accepted our invitation to deliver the inaugural address for today's event. Your presence will definitely be a moral boost for all persons who are involved in Project Complete Lawyer. It's an honor to have you with us, sir. I welcome you, sir, to this event. Next, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation, it is my honor to welcome Advocate Joseph John, Chairman of Bar Council, opportunities and challenges. I welcome you, sir, to this event. Next, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and Law and Justice Research Foundation, it is my honor to welcome Advocate Thomas Abraham, President of High Court of President of High Court Advocates Association, who has accepted our invitation to deliver the felicitation address. Next, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and Law and Justice Research Foundation, it is my honor to welcome Advocate Prashant VG, Partner J. Sagar Associates, Bangalore. He has been working with us very closely in the implementation of Project Complete Lawyer. He will also be delivering the facilitation address. I welcome you, sir, to this event. Next, on behalf of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and Law and Justice Research Foundation, I welcome Amina SM, Student Coordinator for Project Complete Lawyer, who has been tremendously significant and working very hard along with the members of LJRF and Cochin Institute of International Arbitration for organizing this event. She will also be delivering the vote of thanks. I welcome you, Amina, to this momentous event. Finally, there are a few other dignitaries that are present off the dais who have Foundation for the implementation of Project Complete Lawyer, and also has been associating with us for many other events which we hosted in the past. In this occasion, I would also present the welcome address to the following dignitaries. First, Dr. Saroja A.S., former principal of Government Law College, Thrissur, who has also I from District Judge Wayanad, who is also a mentor of the Law and Justice Research Foundation. I welcome you, sir, to this event. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Sebastian, Director of Nehru College, who has been closely associated with LJRF. Now I welcome Advocate Unnikrishnan, Managing Trustee of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration. I welcome you, sir. Now I also like to welcome Mr. Abin Oye, District Social Justice Department Officer, who has been associating with LJRF for many of its past events. Finally, I would like to welcome Advocate Tejas Purushothaman, the President of Law and Justice Research Foundation, State Chapter. And I would also like to welcome Advocate Ajay Kamath, the Secretary of Law and Justice Research Foundation, State Chapter. I also like to welcome Safi Mohan sir, the founder of Law and Justice Research Foundation, to this event. Finally, I would like to welcome all the members of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation to this event. Welcome you all. With this, I end my welcome address. Back to you, Gayatri.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have Advocate Johnson Gomez, sir, to give away the presidential address. He is the chairperson, Project Complete Lawyer, and director of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration. Sir's involvement in this project is so valuable to us as students, teachers, and professionals of law. Let me take the privilege to welcome sir to give away the presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Anupam.
Good evening.
Good evening, teacher. Honorable Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar, Judge High Court of Kerala, Advocate Joseph John, Chairman Bar Council of Kerala, Advocate Thomas Abraham, President Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Mr. Sandeep C, Convener Project Lawyer, and Joint Secretary of Law and Justice Research Foundation, Ms. Amina SM, Student Coordinator Project Complete Lawyer, and my dear students who were selected for training under the Project Complete Lawyer, the members of LJRF and Cochin Institute of International Arbitration, and all my dear friends who have joined this meeting. Very good evening to all. This is a happy moment for Law and Justice Research Foundation, LJRF, and Cochin Institute of International Arbitration, which constitute Team Complete Lawyer. This is the moment of accomplishment of hard work that was put in by the team. I hope that we are making history, as this is a simple but stern effort to achieve the constitutional guarantee that all the citizens of India will be guaranteed justice, social, economic, and political, as enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution of India. I take this opportunity to congratulate the team comprising of academicians, law teachers, retired judges, advocates, and students for making the concept a workable one. I don't think that it is necessary for me to elaborate on the concept of complete lawyer, because several documents regarding this has already been shared in the blog post of Project Complete Lawyer and also in the website of Law and Justice Research Foundation, which you may refer to conveniently. However, I feel that I should make an important acknowledgement here. This concept is developed from the speeches and writings of Professor Dr. N.R. Madhav Menon, who is not with us today, who is also known as the father of modern legal education. He requires no introduction to this gathering. The members of the Cochin Institute of International Arbitration had the rare opportunity of traveling with him during his last phase of life. We wish to call this period his Wycombe days, where when he was the honorary director of M.K. Nambiar Academy for continuing legal education. The team Complete Lawyer offers this project as a tribute to Professor Menon. In this training, we will focus only on 4 things based on the teachings of Professor Menon. Here we do not intend to teach law, but we would assist you trainees to find the law. In this regard, I want to point out that Live Law, one of the largest online platform where judgments are available, has offered complimentary subscription and would be part of the media of Complete Lawyer. We will also try to arrange subscription of many other suitable databases which are suitable for research in the international arena itself, like the Westlaw or Manu Batra and so on. Once you have found the law using those databases which is available, we may assist you in interpreting the law. That is an important process which happens during this training. You will be trained to develop your soft skills necessary for advocacy and the legal service industry, which are suitable for the legal service industry. Once you have completed this training, which we plan it for a period of 5 years, which would start from the first year of study in your law college. You will be engaged in complete lawyering. Through complete lawyering, community lawyering. Through community lawyering, what is intended is that it would give you a hands-on experience on live situation. This is a social service as well. We are living in a country having a population of 1.3 billion. In the words of Professor Menon, half the population do not even know why the courts are established in India. Hope this project would take one more step forward in achieving the constitutional goal, guaranteeing justice to all. I don't wish to elaborate on this any further, for I believe that I will be encroaching on the time of the learned judge and other dignitaries whose speeches you are eagerly waiting. The team Complete Lawyer is grateful to the learned judge and other dignitaries who have graced this occasion. We had discussed this concept with most of them, and we are eagerly waiting to hear them so that we can improve this concept further. Finally, I wish to congratulate the young, vibrant law students who have undergone the selection process and come out successful and is part of this training program. We have 24 such vibrant law students, and hopefully good judge materials in future. I wish to clarify that those who were not selected should not feel disappointed, because the entire selection process was based on just one consideration: the passion to become a lawyer and a judge in the higher judiciary. We found in you great potential suitable for other avenues offered by the profession, as the avenues are innumerable. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of this great venture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those wonderful words, sir. They were really encouraging and highly inspirational. Your words would certainly be a guiding light for us for every step we have to make ahead in the coming future. The well-known saying goes, well begun is half done. And yes, It indeed marks as how important the role of a good beginning is with regard to any venture in our life. On this promptious occasion of the inaugural function of Project Complete Lawyer, we are profusely overjoyed to have with us today the gracious presence of His Excellency Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar, Honorable Judge, High Court of Kerala, an alumni of St. Aloysius High School, Kollam, Sri Narayana College, Kollam, Fatima Mata National College, Kollam, and KGF Law College, Kolar, Karnataka. His Excellency got himself enrolled as an advocate on the 22nd of February, way back in 1987, devoting his sincere and committed service as an advocate before the Supreme Court, before the subordinate court for about 2 years initially, and thereafter before the High Court of Kerala and the Supreme Court of India. His Excellency was designated as the senior advocate on 12th of July 2011. Sworn in as the additional judge of High Court of Kerala on 21st of May 2014, presently His Lordship is appointed as the permanent judge of the High Court of Kerala with effect from 20th of May 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire LJRF family and each of us present over here, let me now with immense joy, great respect and honor invite Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar, Honorable Judge, High Court of Kerala, to kindly deliver inaugural address for today's program.
Am I audible to all? Johnson,
Yes,
am I
sir,
audible?
you are audible. Yes, sir, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The President of the function, Advocate Johnson Gomez, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Kerala, Advocate Joseph John, the President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Advocate Thomas Abraham, Advocate Prashant, my dear friends, I have been a lawyer for about 27 years and living now in the midst of lawyers as a judge for the last almost 7 years. Though I was not very passionate about the legal profession when I chose to study law, having been in the profession for some time, I became passionate about the legal profession. I'll tell you that passion continues even now. I'm therefore extremely happy to be part of this function, which marks the inauguration of the project Complete Lawyer, which is intended to benefit the young lawyers of this state. Therefore, before I proceed to say anything further, I would like to just express my sincere gratitude to the organizers of this function for having given me the opportunity to be part of this. I'm told that the project Complete Lawyer is a training program intended to reduce the incubation period of newly enrolled lawyers so as to make them capable of rendering professional services at an early point of time, and also so as to enable them to earn a livelihood from the profession without waiting much. The concept is certainly audible, no doubt of it. Such a wonderful concept. It is a fact that those who are securing professional qualifications in fields other than law are able to render professional services immediately after they acquire the qualification, and if not after a formal training. And they are also able to generate an income sufficient for their sustenance from their profession without waiting much. Whereas the position of the lawyers is not like that. The lawyers have to have a training with a lawyer who passed the incubation period. And this has been the nature of the profession. The main reason for this, according to me, is the curriculum. The curriculum that is compressed for a short period of 3 to 5 years is not adequate to transform a law student as a complete lawyer. Another reason, of course, is unlike other fields, the legal profession is not a mere application of law into facts. The subject being closely interlinked, closely connected to the society and various social issues, you need to acquire a certain amount of skill for its application. And it is during this incubation period that you are acquiring that skill. A training of acquiring this skills of the profession of course is understandable. There is no issue. But the challenge is not the training. The challenge is the period required for the students. In every profession, there is a training. In every profession, without exception. But the period of training that is required to transform a law graduate into a complete lawyer is a challenge. Is a challenge that is faced by the legal profession. During our days, this period was considerably long, no doubt about that. But of course, on account of the availability of various tools, the period is now reduced. But nevertheless, all of us know that the period is not ideal even now. Not only that, this period depends on various other factors. One of the main factors is the opportunity. The opportunity one would get on completing the course. A fortunate lot were able to get into a busy office, would acquire the necessary skill soon on account of the exposure in that particular office. But others who may not get the same exposure may not be in a position to acquire the same skill within that particular period. Again, the period depends on the subject that is being handled by the lawyer with whom the person concerned starts his profession. A lawyer who gets into an office of a lawyer who is practicing in the High Court, dealing exclusively matters in the original side, probably would be able to acquire the skill to become a complete lawyer within a span of 1 or 2 months. But the position is different if one goes to the office of a lawyer who is handling civil cases in a trial court, or to the office of a lawyer who is handling criminal case in a trial court. He may take years to acquire the knowledge that is required for rendering professional services. There has to be certainly a solution for this, no doubt of it. Or else what would happen is, it was sheer waste of resources. Not only that, the issue is not tackled appropriately, or rather, if the issue is tackled appropriately, the young lawyers would be able to render professional service in a higher degree of quality, no doubt. As you all know, the justice delivery system in place in the state is dependent solely on the quality of the lawyering. According to me, out of my experience, I can vouch that the service, the quality of the service dependent solely on the quality of the lawyering. Therefore, if the quality of the lawyering improves, no doubt, the quality of the justice delivery system in place would also tremendously improve. Therefore, we need to address this. We need to address this particular problem. The project, as I understand, Project Complete Lawyer is aimed at resolving this problem. Going by my experience as a lawyer and as a judge, I always had a feeling that in the law colleges, the students need to be taught not only about law, but also about the practice, about the legal profession. And that is not happening. If at least the students are given an opportunity to give an option to select a subject after being told them about the legal profession, not without being told them about the legal profession. After being told them about the legal profession, they'll have to be told that if you just opt criminal law, this would be the nature of profession. And if you opt civil law, this would be the nature of profession. If you opt taxation, this would be the nature of profession. And if you opt the constitutional matter, this would be the nature of profession. You'll have to go to the higher courts, you'll have to practice before the high court. So similarly, all the nuances of the legal profession have to be told to the students. Then they'll have to be given an opportunity to opt a particular subject. And at least 1 year, they should be taught only about that subject. If that happens, according to me, there would be tremendous change, and this so-called incubation period can be reduced substantially. That is not happening. In the law colleges, what happens is only they are taught the subject. Not only subject, only fundamentals, because it's nobody's fault. Because in 3 to 5 years' time, one cannot expect every subject to be taught in the college. Therefore, this is all that is possible. But again, there will have to be some approach. And in so far as the universities and colleges are not doing that, somebody else will have to do that. Now, the Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and Law and Justice Research Foundation is attempting exactly the same thing, which even Johnson has been interacting with me for long, and we were exchanging our views, and this is exactly what that is required for the profession. And if the lawyers are given a proper training on this, I have no doubt that the incubation period, which is 2 to 10 years now, can be substantially reduced. And if you are able to reduce the incubation period, the result would be tremendous. I have no doubt that the result would be tremendous. And am I audible? I'm audible. Fine. Johnson, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible.
Yes, sir. There was some disturbance in the meeting.
No issues. Therefore, I am just it appears there are some more disturbance. No issues now. Any issues?
No, sir. You are very clear.
Fine. I'm therefore just inaugurating formally, with these words, I'm inaugurating formally the project. I'm wishing Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Research Foundation all the very best for the successful implementation of the project. I'm also wishing the participants of this project all the very best in their professional career. Before concluding, I would like to say something to the participants of the project about the legal profession. As a person who enrolled as a lawyer about 35 years ago, I really envy the young generation of lawyers. The reason is this, that when I commenced practice during 1986, the opportunities were minimal. In earlier days, you had only very, very limited fields like criminal, civil, labor, etc. Even if one gets opportunity, the profession was not remunerative at all. The position is not the same now. Things have changed substantially. Now the opportunities are in abundance. The only complaint I have is that the young generation is not exploiting the opportunities. There are abundant materials which would indicate that the strength of the lawyer community in the country is not adequate to cater the needs of the requirements of society. But nevertheless, lawyers are complaining that they are not getting briefs. Only thing is that what I feel is that the lawyers are not able to explore the possibilities of the profession. Hundreds of new fields have opened up. The paying capacity of litigants have improved sizably. The point I would like to make is that if you acquire the required skill for being in the profession will never let you down. With these words, I'm concluding. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. We are truly honored for this venture, Project Complete Lawyer, to have begun with your words of wisdom. Your words are going to ignite us throughout and to work more and more. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have with us respected Advocate Joseph John, sir, Chairman, Bar Council of Kerala, a master to all the young lawyers and students who are looking forward for a prosperous career. Sir is with us today to give away the keynote address of the evening on the topic, Young Lawyers in Kerala, Challenges and Opportunities. Over to your inspirational words, sir.
President of the session, Advocate Johnson Thomas, ഈ ചടങ്ങ് ഉദ്ഘാടനം നിർവഹിച്ച ജസ്റ്റിസ് പി സുരേഷ് കുമാർ സാറ്, അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് തോമസ് എബ്രാഹാം, അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് പ്രശാന്ത് വി ജി, all other participants in the seminar. Dear friends, Law and Justice Research Foundation, Cochin Institute of International Arbitration, സഹകരണത്തോടുകൂടി ഏറ്റെടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് വളരെയേറെ പ്രതീക്ഷ നൽകുന്നതും ലീഗൽ പ്രൊഫഷനിലേക്ക് കടന്നു വരുന്ന യുവ അഭിഭാഷകർക്ക് അതിനുള്ള ശക്തിയും ട്രെയിനിങ്ങും പ്രദാനം ചെയ്യുന്നതിനുള്ള ഒരു ബേസ്മെന്റ് കിട്ടുക എന്നുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശത്തോടു കൂടിയാണ്. This is a wonderful job. In fact, ജസ്റ്റിസ് സുരേഷ് കുമാർ സാർ ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ലോ കോളേജുകളിൽ 5 വർഷത്തെ പഠനം കൊണ്ട് ഒരു ലോയർ സ്കിൽ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനുള്ള അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ലോയറിലേക്ക് എത്തിച്ചേരുന്നതിനുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ് ലഭിക്കുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് വസ്തുതയാണ്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്കില്ലിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ കുറെ വർഷങ്ങളെടുക്കും. ആ ഒരു ഗ്യാപ്പ് അഡ്വാൻസ് ആയിട്ട് ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യുവാൻ ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് കൊണ്ട് കഴിയും എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതിന്റെ സംഘാടകരെ ഞാൻ ആത്മാർത്ഥമായി അഭിനന്ദിക്കുക. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഒരു ലീഗൽ പ്രൊഫഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ നോബിൾ പ്രൊഫഷൻ, വൈഡ്ലി അക്സെപ്റ്റഡ് നോബിൾ പ്രൊഫഷൻ. ഒരു നോബിൾ പ്രൊഫഷൻ എന്ന നിലയിൽ അഭിഭാഷകർക്ക് സമൂഹത്തോട് വലിയ ഉത്തരവാദിത്വങ്ങളുണ്ട്. അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തിക്ക് നൊബിലിറ്റി ലഭിച്ചത് സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരകാലത്തിന് മുമ്പേ നമ്മുടെ പൂർവികന്മാർ ചെയ്ത സേവനങ്ങളുടെയും മഹത്വപൂർണമായ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളുടെയും തുടർച്ചയായിട്ടാണ്. സമൂഹത്തിലെ മറ്റേത് പ്രൊഫഷനിലേക്കാളും അംഗീകാരവും ബഹുമാനവുമുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷനാണ് അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തി. ആ പ്രൊഫഷന്റെ നൊബിലിറ്റി കീപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക, അത് നിലനിർത്തുക എന്നുള്ളത് ഏതൊരു അഭിഭാഷകനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഏറ്റവും സുപ്രധാനമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി പറയുന്നത്, അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തിയെ, ആ നോബൽ പ്രൊഫഷൻ എന്നുള്ള ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ആ സ്ഥാനം, അത് നിലനിർത്തുന്നതിന് ആവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും ചെയ്യുവാൻ, പ്രാവർത്തികമാക്കുവാൻ, മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകുവാൻ അഭിഭാഷകർക്ക് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും കഴിയണം. അതാണ് യുവ അഭിഭാഷകർക്ക് ആദ്യമായി മനസ്സിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കേണ്ട പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം. 2, ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു കണ്ടിന്യൂയിങ് ലീഗൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ്. അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തിയുടെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് മുതൽ നമ്മൾ എന്നുവരെ അഭിഭാഷകനായി തുടരുന്നുണ്ടോ അന്ന് വരെയും തുടർച്ചയായിട്ടുള്ള പഠനമാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ പ്രൊഫഷനിലുള്ളത്. ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക്, എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള പഠനം, അത് വളരെ അനിവാര്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വിജയ സൂക്തമാണ്. അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തിയിൽ വന്നതിന് ശേഷം മറ്റ് പല കാര്യങ്ങളിലേക്കും ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിച്ചു പോയാൽ ഈ പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ ശരിയായ രീതിയിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ കഴിയുകയില്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് വസ്തുത. ഇവിടെ ഒരു സ്കില്ല് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തെടുക്കാൻ തന്നെ കുറെ കാലങ്ങളെടുക്കും. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരേ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ലഭിക്കണമെന്നില്ല. എങ്കിലും ഈ പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ ശരിയായ രീതിയിൽ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു നിന്ന് ജോലി ചെയ്താൽ പണ്ടത്തെ പോലെയല്ല, ഇന്നത്തെ നിലയിൽ ഒട്ടേറെ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റികൾ നമ്മുടെ മുന്നിലുണ്ട്. നിയമം വളരെ വിശാലമായി പല തലങ്ങളിലേക്കും വളർന്ന് പന്തലിച്ചു പോവുകയാണ്. പുതിയ പുതിയ വിഷയങ്ങൾ മുന്നോട്ട് വരുന്നു. നിയമജ്ഞന്റെ ഉപദേശവും ആവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒട്ടേറെ മേഖലകൾ കടന്നു വരുന്നു. പല ലീഗൽ ബ്രാഞ്ചസും ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അതെല്ലാം നമുക്ക് കൈയടക്കുവാൻ നന്നായി ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്ന, നന്നായി വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന, പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ മാത്രം ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിക്കുന്ന ഏതൊരു അഭിഭാഷകനും തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും സാധിക്കും എന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ യാതൊരു സംശയമില്ല. അതിന് ഒട്ടേറെ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒന്ന്, ഈ അഭിഭാഷക വൃത്തിയിൽ പരമാവധി സത്യസന്ധത പുലർത്തുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് സത്യസന്ധത പുലർത്തുക. All the lawyers have a duty to their clients. All the lawyers have a duty to the court, and also to the opposite side. അതിൽ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ടത് നമ്മുടെ ക്ലയൻസിനോട് ആത്മാർത്ഥത കാണിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അവിടെ കൃത്രിമമായിട്ടുള്ള ചിന്താഗതികളിലേക്ക് പോകാതിരിക്കുക. ക്ലയൻസിനെ വിശ്വസിക്കുകയും ക്ലയൻസിൽ നിന്ന് ലഭിക്കാവുന്ന മുഴുവൻ വസ്തുതകളും ഗ്രഹിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഒരു കേസുമായി നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ കഴിയുള്ളൂ. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവരോട് സിൻസിയറിറ്റി പുലർത്തുക, കോടതിയോട് സിൻസിയറിറ്റി പുലർത്തുക എന്നുള്ളത് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ഘടകം തന്നെയാണ്. അതിന് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം ഡിസിപ്ലിനാണ്. ലോയർ വർക്കിൽ ഡിസിപ്ലിൻ വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. നമ്മൾ മറ്റു രീതിയിലേക്ക് ലീഗൽ പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ നിന്ന് ആദായം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പോയാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആ ഡിസിപ്ലിൻ തെറ്റും. അങ്ങനെ ഡിസിപ്ലിൻ തെറ്റിയാൽ ഈ പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ നിന്ന് അകന്നകന്നകന്ന് പോകുന്ന പശ്ചാത്തലമേ ഉണ്ടാവുകയുള്ളൂ. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട മറ്റൊരു സവിശേഷത, ഒരു അഭിഭാഷകൻ ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ട ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഹോണസ്റ്റിയും ഇന്റഗ്രിറ്റിയുമാണ്. ഈ നോബൽ പ്രൊഫഷന്റെ ഇന്റഗ്രിറ്റി കീപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയണമെങ്കിൽ നിയമത്തിൽ നല്ല നിലയിലുള്ള വിജ്ഞാനം ആർജിക്കാൻ കഴിയണം. നിയമത്തിൽ നല്ല നിലയിലുള്ള വിജ്ഞാനം ആർജിക്കാൻ കഴിയണമെങ്കിൽ കഠിനാധ്വാനം, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ കഠിനാധ്വാനം ആവശ്യമാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഹോണസ്റ്റിയും ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഘടകം തന്നെയാണ്. നമ്മൾ എന്നും പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. പഠിത്തത്തിന് അവസാനമില്ല. ആ രീതിയിൽ നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. നമുക്ക് നിയമത്തിന്റെ ഈ ഒരു പ്രോജക്റ്റിൽ തന്നെ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു നല്ല ലോയറെ വാർത്തെടുക്കാം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അതിനുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ് ആണ് നൽകുന്നത്. ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നോളജ് ഇൻ ലീഗൽ റിസർച്ച് ആണ്. നിയമം എവിടെ കിടക്കുന്നു, നിയമം എങ്ങനെ വ്യാഖ്യാനിക്കപ്പെടുന്നു, എന്താണ് ഒരു വിഷയത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള ആക്ച്വൽ നിയമം, അതിൻ്റെ പൂർവകാല ചരിത്രം എന്താണ് ട്രാൻസ്ഫോർമേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ളത്, കോടതി വിധികളുടെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലുള്ള മാറ്റങ്ങൾ ആ വിഷയത്തിൽ എന്തുണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഇതെല്ലാം നമുക്ക് കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയുന്നത് നല്ല ലീഗൽ റിസർച്ചിലൂടെ മാത്രമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിൽ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനമായി നൽകണം എന്ന് ഞാൻ നിർദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് ആപ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഓഫ് ലീഗൽ റിസർച്ച് ആണ്. ആപ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഓഫ് ലീഗൽ റിസർച്ച് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള സമഗ്രമായിട്ടുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ് ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് മുഖേന ഇതിന് ട്രെയിനികൾക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഒരു നല്ല ലോയറെ വളർത്തിയെടുത്ത് ഈ പ്രൊഫഷനിലേക്ക് പറഞ്ഞയച്ച് എല്ലാ മേഖലകളിലും നിന്ന് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഒരു സ്ഥിതിയിലേക്ക് അവരെ മാറ്റിയെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയും എന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ യാതൊരു സംശയമില്ല. ഇവിടെ പറയുകയുണ്ടായി ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ NR മാധവമേനോൻ സാറിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ച്. ഞാൻ ഈ പ്രസിഡൻഷ്യൽ അഡ്രസ്സിൽ അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് ജോൺസൺ പറഞ്ഞ 4 ഒബ്ജക്ട്സ്, അത് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും മാധവമേനോൻ സാറിന്റെ ഒരു സ്വപ്നമായിരുന്നു എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം ലോയേഴ്സ് അക്കാഡമി, മാധവമേനോൻ സാറ് അവസാനം വഹിച്ചിരുന്ന പദവി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ MK നമ്പ്യാർ അക്കാഡമിയുടെ ഡയറക്ടർ സ്ഥാനമാണ്. MK നമ്പ്യാർ അക്കാഡമി വാസ് എ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദി ബാർ കൗൺസിൽ ഓഫ് കേരള in collaboration or in supervision by senior advocate KK Venugopal, who is the Attorney General. ഞാൻ ബാർ കൗൺസിൽ ചെയർമാൻ ആയിരുന്ന സമയത്താണ് ഈ സ്ഥാപനം ഉണ്ടാകുന്നത്. KK വേണുഗോപാൽ സാറിന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ ഡയറക്ടർഷിപ്പിലുള്ള ഒരു ട്രസ്റ്റിഷിപ്പിലുള്ള മാനേജിംഗ് ട്രസ്റ്റി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ട്രസ്റ്റ് രൂപീകരിച്ചു. അതിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടറായിട്ട് NR മാധവമേനോൻ സാറിനെയാണ് വന്നത്. We imparted several training programs in the state. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഒരു ആഗ്രഹത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥാപനമായിരുന്നത്. ആ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിൽ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനമായി നൽകിയത് ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ദ ലോ, റിസർച്ച് ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ദ ലോ, ഒന്ന് അതിനുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ് കൊടുക്കുക. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി സർവീസ്, അത് അദ്ദേഹം എപ്പോഴും പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രധാന ഘടകം ആ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ലോയറിങ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ലോയറിങ്ങിനുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ് കൊടുക്കുക, ആ മേഖലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ ഉള്ള അവസരം ഉണ്ടാക്കുക, അതുകൊണ്ട് സൊസൈറ്റിയെ കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കാൻ, നമ്മുടെ നാടിന്റെ സ്ഥിതിയെക്കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കാൻ, അത് ജസ്റ്റിസ് ഡെലിവറി സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ എത്രമാത്രം പ്രയോജനപ്രദമായി ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താൻ കഴിയും എന്നുള്ളതിനെ കുറിച്ച് ബോധ്യം വരാൻ ഒക്കെ ആ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ലോയറിങ്ങിന് കഴിയുമെന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ സംശയമില്ല. അപ്പം മാധവ മേനോൻ സാറിന്റെ വലിയൊരു സ്വപ്നം സാക്ഷാത്കരിക്കുകയാണ് ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിലൂടെ. ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്ന ഏതാണ്ട് 100-ൽ പരം സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനാണ് ഇവിടെ ട്രെയിനിങ് കൊടുക്കുവാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഇതൊരു വലിയ ഒരു മോട്ടിവേഷനാണ്. നല്ല ലോയേഴ്സിനെ വാർത്തെടുക്കാൻ ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ് കൊണ്ട് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും കഴിയുമെന്ന് പൂർണ്ണമായി ഞങ്ങൾ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന് ബാർ കൗൺസിൽ ഓഫ് കേരളയുടെ എല്ലാവിധ സഹായങ്ങളും ഉണ്ടാകും എന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ സംശയമില്ല. എല്ലാ അഭിവാദ്യങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു, എല്ലാ നന്മകളും നേരുന്നു. ഏറ്റവും നല്ല നിലയിൽ ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ് മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ ഈ ലോ ആൻഡ് ജസ്റ്റിസ് റിസർച്ച് ഫൗണ്ടേഷനും അതിൻ്റെ അനുബന്ധ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾക്കുമൊക്കെ കഴിയട്ടെ എന്ന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ വാക്കുകൾ ഉപസംഹരിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you, sir, for those great and positive words from your side, for telling us of the real challenges as well as the opportunities in the profession of advocacy, and for enlightening us as to how we as young lawyers shall, with a positive mind, convert each of those challenges as an opportunity. Your words shall be well remembered by us, sir. Thanks a lot.
Now, in order to felicitate the evening of inauguration of Project Complete Lawyer, we have with us Advocate Prashant Viji, partner, J. Sagar Associates, Bangalore, one of the leading national law firms. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, Anupam, or Aisha, as you are called, for that welcome note. Honorable Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar, Advocate Johnson Gomez, Advocate Joseph Jones, Advocate Thomas Abraham, Mr. Sandeep, Amina, my distinguished brothers and sisters at the Kerala Bar, in the fraternity, the student leaders who are selected here. It gives me an immense sense of pleasure, privilege, and even a sense of gratitude to be a part of all of you this evening, to be a part of this event jointly organized by the Cochin Institute of International Arbitration and the Law and Justice Foundation. Before I really felicitate the Complete Project Lawyer initiative, let me at least mark a few words, though it's belatedly at this point in the evening. I don't want to make a long speech, particularly on a personal note. I will, in fact, want to at least place on record a few words of gratitude for making me a part of this, because ostensibly I am not somebody who's a part of the Kerala Bar. Though I am a Malayali, I am from Palluruthi, but I studied my law at Calcutta under Professor Madhav Menon at the National University of Juridical Sciences. I practiced in Delhi for a few years. For the last many years, I have been in Bangalore. Though I've had the opportunity of attending matters and conducting matters before various courts and tribunals all over the country, I've somehow incidentally not had a chance to do that before any court or tribunal in Kerala. So more than being able to make my personal contributions to this initiative, I would also look at this opportunity of being associated with all of you as something by which I can personally possibly make some inroads into some friendships at the Kerala fraternity. And therefore, before I felicitate the initiative, let me thank the organizers for making me a part of it and thinking about me when you initiated an evening of this thought. What is my concept of complete lawyering? That's one of the aspects I want to very briefly touch upon. The second aspect that I want to touch upon is what, therefore, consequentially, is my thought on approaches to complete lawyering or approaches to making a complete lawyer. These are the two thoughts that I want to very briefly touch upon. Now, on the first aspect as to what is complete lawyering, I keep thinking if there is any way in which anybody, be it in the law or be it outside the law, can understand the word complete in its absolute sense. Do we ever complete the syllabus in any subject in the law school? Can we forget a laborious legislation like the Companies Act or the Income Tax Act? Even if we take up a relatively smaller legislation, let's say an Evidence Act, are we able to complete beyond a certain number of provisions in the whole semester? We can complete a whole semester discussing part 3 of the Constitution, or maybe a derivative right under one of the articles, let's say a right to privacy. Under Article 21 can consume possibly a lion's share of a semester in a law school. So therefore, we never complete a syllabus in law. It's just a small initiation, a small trigger, a small teaser, if you would like it, before somebody enters the profession that we do while in the 3 years or 5 years in the law school. Let me ask another question. Is the Constitution a complete document? We say that the Constitution is the grand norm, the law from which all the other laws emanate. Can the Constitution be called a complete document? The answer is no, because if the Constitution was a complete document, were to be a complete document, we wouldn't have had so many amendments to the Constitution. We wouldn't have had the great Justice Krishna era or the Justice Bhagwati era or the later or previous eras where we have had several experiments with several articles within the Constitution, thereby having to tremendously enhance the scope within those articles and bring more and more life into the Constitution. In fact, if you think about the Constitution consciously prevented itself from limiting itself to provisions regarding governance of the country. So the Constitution is merely not a governing document, a document carrying governing provisions. The Constitution deals with, like in the part 4, even under part 3, even under the preamble, the Constitution deals with certain visions, certain aspirations, which are beyond and above the provisions of mere governance of the country. Equality, secularism, socialism, and various such other egalitarian principles. But is it that when the Constitution was promulgated, there was equality in the country? In fact, when the Constitution was promulgated, the country was torn. The country was rift with inequalities. Therefore, when the Constitution guaranteed equality, did the Constitution say that equality existed as of then? No. In that sense, the Constitution was an aspirational document. The point that I'm trying to drive home is completeness, to my mind, is an aspirational term. It's never an absolutist term. The moment something is aspirational, it has no end. The Constitution was aspirational 70 years back. The Constitution is aspirational today, and it will continue to be aspirational for all times to come. Likewise, is there any lawyer who is complete? The biggest lawyer, as we call Mr. Nani Palkiwala, was he a complete lawyer? Is Fali Nariman a complete lawyer? Is Harish Salve a complete lawyer? In fact, if one of you has an immediate legal requirement for which in 5 minutes you need an opinion, in 5 minutes you need a crucial solution, Perhaps a Fali Nariman or a Harish Salve will not be able to find that out in 5 minutes, and a relatively smaller, and I use the word relatively very consciously, relatively smaller lawyer sitting in the Mufasil court in Ernakulam may be able to give you that solution in 5 minutes. Therefore, in that context, he may be a slightly more complete lawyer than a Harish Salve. In that context, in the context of that query, in the context of that client, in the context of that requirement. Therefore, when we say complete lawyer, I understand that as a phenomenon based on comparison. It's like asking whether life is long or short. Often when we have to say live without negativity, don't get into small fights, we say life is short, so live it meaningfully. Sometimes when we have to contain an irony, somebody good has suffered, somebody bad has had a good life, and we have to explain a perceptible, ostensible meaninglessness of life, we say, after all, life is very big. There will be a solution somewhere else. Don't think of life in terms of short vision. Therefore, is life short or is life long? The answer is, it all depends upon what you're comparing it with. If you're comparing with, let's say, a previous generation of lawyers, possibly today's lawyers have a longer life. Recently, I was watching a video on this interesting concept of late bloomers, a Malayalam video. The concept of late bloomer is somebody who has lived a very ordinary life throughout a school, college, professional life, etc. And maybe suddenly at the age of 60 or 70, he may realize the purpose of his life. He may even conquer the world. He may suddenly become a movie actor. He may suddenly start a business. He may suddenly turn into an author at the age of 70. And with today's life expectancy where people live up to 85, 90 or longer, our own dear Justice Krishna lived up to ripe 90, ripe 100. With this kind of life expectancy, it is never late. And therefore, a late bloomer today is an acceptable concept. I'm bringing it all back to this concept of complete lawyering in a peculiar sense. What I want to tell you is, therefore, don't look at completeness in an absolutist term. Completeness is a comparative term. Likewise, knowledge is not an absolutist expression. We are today, through this program, to my understanding, chasing what is called functional knowledge. Absolutist knowledge versus functional knowledge is the crux of Project Lawyer as I understand it. This brings me to the aspect as to what possibly, according to me, would be the crux of how complete lawyering program as it unfolds. Madras High Court Madurai bench is the one that a few years back said that all the law colleges which produce lawyers should not be permitted to produce advocates. They said that a lawyer is not necessarily an advocate. Only people who have the necessary skills to be an advocate should be advocates. Others can remain as lawyers with a law degree. If you have a law degree, you are a lawyer. But you may not necessarily be enrolled as an advocate if your college did not have the necessary wherewithal or the stamina or the capacity or the quality to produce what it takes to produce an advocate. Now, there's a large message there, and that message is essentially linked to what we're trying to do today. There is a mainstream legal education that all our student aspirants are invariably going through. This is an experiment outside of that mainstream legal education, supplementing and complementing that mainstream legal education. But nevertheless, this is outside. And the manner in which I would conceive of this outside training running parallel to the mainstream education is by distinguishing a teaching from a training. The moment you say teaching, something is essentially a theory-based application. The moment you say training, it is essentially a practice-oriented application. And law, fundamentally and ultimately, is a professional course. Fundamentally and ultimately, I mean, it can have various theoretical aspects attached to it. In fact, it has a large theoretical aspect attached to it when compared to medicine or engineering. Law has a huge bank of theory a huge wisdom of written knowledge associated with it, but fundamentally and ultimately, it is a professional course. And if it has to be approached as a professional course, we need to understand what are the various things which go into making a good lawyer. According to me, there are three aspects. Aspect number one is the theory part of it. Aspect number two is the expression part of it. Law is always about either written expression or the oral expression of the theory. Be it in a court, be it in a pleading that you file, be it in an opinion that you give, be it in a client conference, be it in any other forms of interaction, it is about an expression part of it. And lastly, law is about the human aspect of it, the human interaction part of it. When a client walks into your office, does he go back being reassured that here is a lawyer who's born for me and to solve my problem? He is approachable, he is honest, and he is reliable. The human aspect part is the last aspect. So these are the three aspects, according to me, which should be differentially treated while we approach the training in this complete lawyer program. I've had opportunity to associate with Dr. N.R. Madhav, not merely when I was on campus, but also outside, even long after I graduated from the law school. When I saw him preparing the lawyers, and I'm not talking about law students, the young lawyers for the profession, young underprivileged lawyers for the profession, much later after my graduation at the National Law School here in Bangalore, I understood what is this Dr. N.R. Madhav magic is about. What he did is he would draw students from, he would draw lawyers from smaller townships, Mufassil townships, for a 3-day program or a 5-day program on some subject. It can be labor law, it can be any subject. And instead of giving the statute, he would give a small piece of literature. It would possibly be that of a foreign author. And he would say, you just, tonight when you go back to the hostel, just read it, understand what you understand of it, write down the points, tomorrow come and speak about it. The person has never read a foreign author. He takes the material, goes back home, battles with the material throughout the night, makes his notes, comes in the morning, presents it in front of other people who are also equally underprivileged and placed in the similar circumstances as he is, answers the questions, goes back to the audience, challenges the next speaker, and at the end of this 3-day process, when the person goes out of the seminar room, he realizes that he has, without even realizing, inculcated so many skills. The thinking skill, the speaking skill, the reading skill, the ability to sit tight on a chair for several hours, the ability to burn the midnight oil, the ability to synthesize in your mind, the ability to reproduce. With that, he goes back to his village or Mufassil township, and then carrying his senior's file and tagging along with the senior till midnight makes a completely new sense to him. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this training program is ultimately a man-making training program. This program is intended to address your personalities. This is not merely intended to address your knowledge bank. This is intended to address your personalities, because training in law is a training in man-making. And it is in that sense that I wish and felicitate this initiative well. I would want to end by referring to the famous novel, Time Machine. So the novel Time Machine speaks about a scientist who invents a machine, a chair, on which you can sit and you can travel either forward or backward in time. While in the beginning of the novel, when he explains the concept, he tells the co-scientists, who are people who are suspicious of this experiment, who don't believe in this experiment, he tells them, look, you know what a length is, you know what the breadth is, you know what a width is. So if a material which has length, breadth, and width can have life, because the moment you say it has length, it has breadth, it has width, it is a material which exists, and therefore it has life. If it has life, it means that it travels from today to tomorrow. Therefore, there is a fourth dimension apart from length, breadth, and width, and that is called time. And therefore, if you can travel across length, if you can travel across breadth, if you can travel across height, you should also be able to travel across time. And here I have invented a machine on which you sit and you travel across time. I wish all of you invent a new dimension to your life, like the dimension of time was invented and practically given effect to in the novel Time Machine. Let this initiative be one where you discover a new dimension of your life. It doesn't matter if law chose you or you chose law. You may have wanted to become a photographer, you may have wanted to become a brain surgeon, you may have wanted to become an engineer. But today you are a lawyer, and it doesn't matter any further whether you chose law or law chose you. Possibly there is no going back, so you might as well do it well. I wish all of you do it well. My felicitations for this initiative, and I wish it grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you for enriching us with your words of wisdom and dedicating your valuable time for us, sir. It indeed means a lot to us. Gratitude. This 9-lettered word is a magical one. For to speak of gratitude is courteous and pleasant. To enact it is generous and noble. And to live in it means to touch the heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are heading towards the winding up session of this pleasant and memorable evening, we are extremely delighted to have with us Ms. Amina Esam, the student coordinator of Project Complete Lawyer, as well as the member of LJRF, who has graciously agreed to deliver the vote of thanks. Ms. Amina, we welcome you over to the screen to kindly give away the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gayatri, for the warm introduction. It is my privilege to be here as a coordinator. I am happy and fortunate enough to be a part of this very first and wonderful initiative, the Project Complete Lawyer, a project to equip young lawyers to become independent in a very short span. On this inaugural day, at this very moment, I would like to show my gratitude by remembering Dr. N.R. Madhava Menon, sir. We are aware this thoughtful project is a tribute to him. Along with that, I extend my gratitude and deep sense of appreciation to Advocate Johnson Gomez, Chairperson of Project Complete Lawyer and Director of Cochin Institute of International Arbitration. Thank you so much, sir, making this project alive and being the great promoter. We know this project is in association with Law and Justice Research Foundation, a non-profit organization of highly motivated and diligent legal individuals. I must mention Mr. Safi Mohan, sir, the backbone and founder of Law and Justice Research Foundation, Gino M. Kurian, Director, Law and Justice Research Foundation Academy, and Advocate Pradeep Ramachandran, Secretary of Law Exams. Along with that, I thank Mr. Rajesh Kumar and Advocate Ajay R. Kamath and all the other members of Law and Justice Research Foundation for showing immense support to this project. Now, I regardfully and respectfully mention Honorable Judge of Kerala High Court, Justice P.S. Suresh Kumar, my deep sense of gratitude to you, sir. Thank you for making our inaugural function more auspicious. Now, I thank Advocate Joseph Joan, Chairman of Bar Council Kerala. Thank you so much, sir, for making this evening more productive and insightful by sharing your thoughts on young lawyers and their challenges, and for making us aware of the responsibilities and opportunities available and to the young lawyers. Moving on, now I thank Advocate Prashant VG, partner of J. Sagar Associates Bangalore. Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful to have you here. In addition to that, I also extend my thanks to our Project Complete Lawyer convener, Mr. Sandeep Chandrasekharan, Joint Secretary of Law and Justice Research Foundation, Kerala State Chapter. And thank you for your hard work and aid, sir. And as importantly, I thank all the candidates who showed interest to this project, and from there we got highly passionate 24 young law students who have been entered for our first batch, and I hope you all could make this project highly beneficial and in great success. Last but not least, to each and every valuable individual who accepted our inaugural invitation and stayed along with us, thank you so much, and I hope every support in future. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you so much, Amina. We would also like to thank everyone who are gathered here, and also to everyone who have worked behind the success of this program. Congratulations on the first triumph of the Project Complete Lawyer. More way to go. And before leaving, I would like to remind and request each and everyone who are gathered here that we have a national anthem. Please kindly wait for it before you leave the meet.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
The session is officially over. You can leave the meet now. Thank you, everyone.